My mall is closing.
My mall is closing too.
Really? Is it your childhood mall?
It was not, but my childhood mall is in like crisis.
Yeah.
It's not gonna make it. There's no one there ever. I used to get my hair cut there up until I like moved more into the north side of the city. But yeah. Oh, well actually my childhood mall. See, here's the thing, Matt. There's your childhood mall,
Uh-huh.
but then there's like your childhood mall. So my childhood squared mall is like my eight like ages 1 through like 7. And then we moved and then I had like
Um,
an adolescent, like childhood to adolescent.
no,
So
these
the
were the
first
same mall
mall,
for me.
oh, okay, the first mall I went to was Ford City Mall, and that's been like I think that's been pretty dead for a while, but it's
Hmm.
devastating. Like that was my mall. I went to see Santa there. Me and
Yeah.
my mom got like Mrs. Fields cookies. There were fountains. There were fountains in the mall
Yeah, there's a
and
fountain in
trees.
there was a fountain. Yeah. So okay. So I had a mall. Exton Square Mall was my childhood mall and my teenage slacker mall. Man, and the
Okay.
things we used to do as I remember we used to go and beg for money at the mall and
The
then
fuck?
and steal change from the fountain and then buy CDs.
Wait, which CD store did you have in the mall?
It changed a bunch. I remember at one point it was FYE.
I remember, yeah, yeah. That I think we still have an FYE at
I don't
like
remember what it was
Schaumburg.
before that. It was something else before that, and I think it was something else after that. But we used to go up to people and be like, "Hey, my mom dropped me off at the mall, and she forgot to leave me any money for food. Do you think you could, if you could even spare $1, like that would be great." And then we'd
What is
do
wrong
that
with
to a whole
you?
bunch of people and then buy a
Fuck.
CD.
What is
Um,
wrong with you? Oh, there was a Sam Goody. I like now I'm like looking up chains now.
I
Sam
can't
Goody.
remember if we. Can't remember if ours was the Sam Goody. We had a Hot Topic. We had a
Yeah, we had a Hot
KB
Topic.
Toys.
Yeah, we had a KB Toys, and then there was a different toy store with a sign that I fucking loved. It was a juggling clown.
We had an
I have an
Auntie Anne's.
amazing memory, so I'm just like now remembering all these mundane things.
So so this mall, Exton Square Mall, was a pretty big mall, and it had a fountain. It had trees
Gotta
in
have
the
trees.
food court, and there were
Yeah.
birds in the rafters.
There same with mine. There were birds in the rafters and I loved them.
So
Why are there like what was every mall? Now I'm
when
just was every mall the same? Like you
when I
had
was in
trees and birds?
when I was in college, just a couple years ago, when I went to I had to do an AV. I was doing an AV class and I had to do an AV project that was like do a little documentary. And I did a documentary about dead malls and filmed inside Exton Mall and got chased out as an
Wow.
adult, like as a fucking 36-year-old man, like
So they
hiding
were
from
like,
mall cops to film.
that's that guy who as a kid like begged for money and stole the
Oh,
change from the fountain.
yeah, we did worse than that too at that
Oh,
mall.
Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. So it was a dead mall then, and
Yeah.
yeah, and now it's dying for good. Like it's
Yeah,
closing
shutting
down.
down dead.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you
yeah,
remember Gadzooks?
I don't think I had a Gadzooks.
Great. I was really excited for like 2 seconds.
Ah, fuck! I spilled my drink. Give me 1 second.
Oh my god.
Good thing the show hasn't started yet, and we're
Yeah,
just
good thing we're
chatting.
not in the cold open and working really
What's
hard.
what's a cold open?
Why were you such like a menace at the mall? Like what why?
I was just a little punk kid. There's a
That's
little punk
so
kid, and I
cute.
caused so much destruction and damage.
That's
Well, I don't
adorable.
think I caused damage. I don't know that I caused. I don't know that it caused damage. I just lived by my own rules.
I know that's not supposed to be adorable, but it sounds so cute. Aw, little Matt.
I
Little
did.
Matt with his little mohawk.
I did a. I staged a protest. Okay,
Oh
here's a
boy.
fun Matt Punk story. Let me get another paper towel so I can keep cleaning my keyboard off. So, and not that they didn't always have good reasons. Sometimes they did. but sometimes they didn't. We would get harassed by the mall cops pretty much every week, right?
Okay.
And they never caught us begging or stealing change. So, like, it wasn't because of that. It was just because they didn't want weirdos scaring the rest of their customers. And that's what made me mad about it. And I remember one time we were in... Granted, there was no reason for us to be in this store. It's not a store any of us shopped in. But we were in Abercrombie and Fitch.
Okay.
But we hadn't, this is the thing, we hadn't done anything wrong. We hadn't caused any trouble. But they called the mall cops on us. And the mall cops were like, you have to leave. We were like, wait, what? Like, we didn't.
Yeah, why?
We were just walking around and they were like, you have to leave right now. And they escorted everybody out of the mall. And I got so mad about this, I staged a protest. And so I like organized this whole thing and I got everybody, all the mall kids from multiple schools together to do a big mall protest, to the point where one of the other, not my school, but one of the other local schools made like an announcement on that Friday. Like, if you are going to the mall protest tonight, be warned, the cops are aware of it and you will get in trouble. So don't do it. And so it turned into a big thing, like bigger than I intended.
Whoopsie.
And then there was a girl I liked who was like, hey, hang out with me this Friday. And I was like, well, I organized this whole protest. And she was like, oh, sorry. Well, because like, I won't be able to hang out next weekend.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, I'll come hang out with you. And I went and hung out with her and I skipped the protest that I organized.
What kind of punk is that? That's not punk. That's like Blink 182 punk.
How is that? I mean, I think it's punk to arrange a protest.
And then not go to it?
And I think it is just a teenager thing to do, to not go to it because a girl was like, hey, want to make out?
Did you make out?
Yeah, we did make out.
This is not punk at all. I'm disappointed.
They did get kicked out. The protest did get kicked out of the mall. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Save Your Game. I am your host, Matt Ockham, and with me, the THE,
wow,
one and only, Pushing Up Roses. How you doing, Roses?
Hi, it's me.
What if that would be such a bad nickname?
I'm unique. Wait, Pushing Up Roses is a bad nickname?
THE, if that was your nickname before your...
Yeah, I was
hey, it's the THE Jeffrey.
Yeah, like in quotes. Mm-hmm. I'm changing my name to that.
But tomorrow people go to Pushing Up Roses YouTube channel and it's just THE.
Yeah.
And then your real first name.
Yeah. It's my real first name, quotes THE, and quote my last name.
That's your real last name too.
People are like, what is this?
I had to use my real first name and last name on everything. I decided really early on in the internet, like, Matt, you're gonna have to use your real first and last name on everything, or you're gonna be such an asshole. Like,
you're holding yourself accountable.
Exactly. Like, if I was like, if I use a fake name, if I start using like a pseudonym everywhere, like a screen name, I'm gonna be such a piece of shit. I'm gonna be so mean, and I'm gonna be so snotty, and I'm gonna be so. And I was like, but if I use my real name, it's gonna keep me like honest.
And yet it didn't.
Yeah, I'm such.
You're such snot anyway.
This is what everyone says about me. You're such an asshole on the internet. Oh well, yeah, that's different. We're friends.
Here's the thing. I obviously have a username / channel name, an artist name. But it doesn't matter. Like, my name is out there anyway. Like, I try not to say it, but that's not really because of privacy reasons. I just like, and when I'm on the internet, I just like to be known as my internet artist name. It just makes me feel a little more professional. I get real pissed when people call me my real name, and I'm like, no,
I'm
it's
not
not my
going.
artist name.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna reveal any details here. But there was one time we did get an email where somebody was like, "Hi, pushing up roses," or should I say, and then your real name, and both me and you were like, "What the fuck is this person doing?" Like, are they like, "Hey, I figured you out." like,
Oh my
I
god, the way I raged because
I got you. like,
yeah.
what?
Listen, I'm a nice person until I'm not, and then I'm just a ball of
Because it's
feisty
like,
rageness.
are they saying like, me and you, we're in on this secret, your real name together, or like, is that like?
Either they're trying to flirt with me, which is not welcome.
Yeah, the best way to flirt with somebody is to do your research and find out some detail they don't make
Oh
public
yeah,
and then reveal it to them. So
yeah.
like
I'm gonna be
usually
real big mad.
if I'm in a bar and I see a pretty woman uh across the bar and I'm like, ooh, that person, I want to go talk to her. I'll sneak up behind her, I'll steal her wallet, I'll look up her name,
Whoa,
I'll
wow.
leave the bar, I'll go to the police office, and I'll sneak into the back and I'll run her name through their database and get all the details I can, print out a dossier, go
Mhm,
back to the
mhm,
bar, walk up to her
mhm,
and just
mhm.
start reading off of it.
You'll find out that she's like a murderer, and there's like a cold
I'll
case
be,
file, and then you like this is an adventure game. This
I'll
this
be
is how
like,
you know that we're adventure gamers because we have to do all this shit just to like live.
"Excuse me, ma'am," or should I say Deborah Johnson, who lives at 1463 North Brook Lane.
I think you mean Deborah quote the quote
The
Johnson.
Johnson. Deborah the Johnson.
The Johnson.
And look, if that person who wrote that email is listening, we are. That was inappropriate, but we're not mad at you.
I'm
It's
not
just
mad.
such.
Just don't be doing that.
It's just
I'm
such a
not
weird
mad.
thing to do. And like, go ahead and interrogate your motives in writing that as the intro to your email, and decide like what were you trying to communicate, and then when you figure it out, don't tell us.
Yeah.
We don't need to be part of this process. This is an internal auditing.
That's also just not the best way to flirt with me specifically. Like Matt, what do you think the best way to flirt with me specifically would be? I bet if
Compliment
you
you.
guess you'll get it right. What?
Compliment you.
I
Effusively
will
compliment you.
Oh, I will always take a compliment from fucking anybody. But like there's a better way. There's a better way.
Um Mention something that you're passionate about.
Such as
Video games.
that's correct. Like yeah,
What?
if you
Yeah.
start like talking to me, you want to know what I know about like King's Quest, that'll get me hot and bothered. Let's go.
You spend every one of these podcasts so horned up. Our
Oh,
get
every time.
our guests that's our guests often have to send an email like please never invite me back.
Rose, this was so inappropriate. She tried to hit
No.
on me afterwards.
No, we're
They're talking
kidding.
about
We're
Leisure
kidding.
Suit Larry. It was real weird. No, I don't. Of course, I don't do that. But yeah, if you bring up like art and video games, let's go. I'm on
Mhm.
it. Which is harder than you think because the adventure gaming like fan base is pretty small.
Yeah.
Like nobody ever comes up to me and is like, "Hey, did you play Sam and Max?" Like never, nobody.
Of course, though, in the next time you're at Adventure X, now you're going to get a line
It's swarmed.
of men and women going, "Hey, tell me what you know about King's Quest."
You know what? That's fine. If you're British and you want to flirt with
And they
me,
go,
please.
"And I don't know your real name."
I don't know it. I've never heard it before in my life. It doesn't start with an S. What?
So, speaking of video games
Yep.
and art, what have you been enjoying lately?
Oh, are you trying to flirt with me?
God damn it! This podcast is going to be impossible if this is the precedent.
You're not gonna believe this, but you are because I told you off recording. I've been.
The listeners won't believe it.
They're not gonna believe it. I'm playing Krabat in the Secret of the Sorbian King. Listen, I have great news for you and everyone listening.
Yeah.
Krabat has an app Did you know this?
I did. You can get it on. Do you have
Yes.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
I have Android. You can get it on Android too.
You can absolutely get it on iOS as well.
It's so funny.
That's very awesome. And like I haven't played a lot of it. I just was like I don't know why this happened. I think it's because I got really sick of Gilbert Goodmate, which I did try to play and I'm stuck.
Gilly Good Grape.
Good grape. Can't stop calling it that. Um yeah,
You got,
so just a quick update here. I'm stuck in Gilbert Goodmate. I haven't made any progress, but my inventory is over fucking flowing. I
you
have
sent
so
me
much shit.
you sent me a picture. Maybe we talked about this last episode, but
Mhm.
you sent me a picture 2 minutes into playing, and you said, "This is my inventory 2 minutes in."
2 minutes after
And
I
there was
collected
like,
like 5 more things.
yeah, there was like 10 things, and then you texted me, yeah, like 5 minutes after we stopped recording the last
Yep.
episode, and you're like, "This is my inventory now."
Like what? It's the most mundane shit you've ever seen in your life. God, I don't know what to do. Like I'm stuck. There might be a bug, because I tried to look up what I'm supposed to be doing, and a character is not responding the way he's supposed to.
Mm,
And if that's the case, then I'm soft locked in this
okay.
horrible like setting location where everyone's awful.
Oh, this
Yeah,
is Gilbert Good Grape.
good
Not,
grape. Yeah.
not okay. Tell me
Krabat?
about Krabat.
Krabat is interesting. Krabat. That's a different game.
Krabat.
Krabat is a Russian game. It is narrated in Russian, and I'm having to read the subtitles
Mhm.
to go anywhere. It's not polished. I'm gonna be real fucking honest here. We may have
Please.
rated it too high. And I feel the same way about Gilbert Goodmate. Like, man, you know what I've learned? We
Mhm.
have got to try to play some of these ranked games because we're going to find we're either like super impressed or we're going to be,
Really
or we really
disappointed.
need to like re-rank.
Okay. Should we revisit it right now that you've just played it, or should we wait till our next ranking episode and you'll
We'll
just
wait.
have? Okay, all right.
Yeah, we'll wait till our next ranking. But it is interesting though because it is based on like Sorbian folklore. Sorry, I guess it's not Russian, it's Sorbian, my bad. And it's like this is a game where the setting is like super old. I think it's like one of the oldest settings I've played. It's like
Okay.
1702 or something. Sorry, I've looked it up. 1714. Um and yeah, it's kind of this I haven't played a lot of it. I just wanted to see it. It is clearly hand drawn. It is spoken, I guess, in a Slavic language.
Hmm.
So I'm reading. It comes. Don't worry, it does come with the closed captions. And it's about a Sorbian wizard, and it's about like challenging this like king. It's like about
Okay.
like historical war and
Okay.
stuff. It's pretty for something as cartoony looking as Krabat and the Secret of the Sorbian King, it's actually pretty
that,
serious.
that sounds good. What's bad about it?
I hate how it plays, man. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
it's inconsistent. So sometimes, and this could be a language barrier as well, but sometimes the voice acting is really squeaky and bad.
Okay.
Sometimes it's good. It's hand drawn. The characters are clashing against the backgrounds like hard. Kind of
Okay.
like King's Quest 7, honestly. They look so strange. I don't know what it is about this art that I just really don't like.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
And
the art. Yeah, the art looked very mediocre when we.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like sometimes it's not. Like
Oh.
sometimes the backgrounds are really beautiful, and sometimes it just looks disheveled, and the characters are clashing, and the characters are like big headed and like anime eye. It's weird. It's not working for me, guys. It's not
Oh.
working.
Okay.
And like in the intro, right, because this is really interesting. So you're playing a wizard. It's easy to forget that because you're kind of just dressed as a dude. You do not look like a wizard. You're not dressed as
That
Rincewind or
guy's a
anything.
wizard.
Yeah, Krabat is a
Krabat
wizard.
is a
Mhm.
wizard. Okay.
And the way you like enter this town, to like talk to the king or whatever is you're in a carriage with a horse and you're flying. It's flying. And like I thought that was a bug at first because I don't look like a wizard. I look like some guy. He's just flying this thing in the air.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played a lot of it. I do plan to play more since it's pretty easy to play on iOS. I get to play it on my tablet, which is kind of neat. I never get to play anything on my tablet.
Yeah, Krabat is a Sorbian folk hero.
Yes, correct.
The story of it's in the Arden Thompson Uther Index as number 325, The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't know
so
that.
it is a cataloged it is a cataloged classification of folktale.
Yeah, and like
Interesting.
it's about like political unrest and in 1714. I don't think I've ever played a game quite. I mean, I guess we don't really know the dates of like the King's Quest games. They're not named, right? They're just kind of high fantasy
Yeah.
whatevers. This is particularly set in 1714, so this is one of the older like time settings I think I've played.
I know so little about Slavic folklore. I feel like I
Yeah.
should learn. This is like such an intriguing. I gotta close this Wikipedia page so I can focus on the podcast.
Isn't Baba Yaga Slavic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know about Baba Yaga.
Well, some Slavic stuff passes into just like into Western European folklore. So like,
true.
There's like the domovoy and
Mm-hmm.
there's a Rusalka. That's a Slavic
Yeah.
folk tale. There's
We're
also
just
the
naming everything from Quest for Glory 4.
Oh, you're right. Those are both in Quest for
that
Glory
was
5.
Slavic, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Mhm.
Well, okay, I know the stuff in Quest for Glory 5 or the stuff that like the Decemberists sang about.
Great. See, we're smart. We know stuff.
We're so smart is the thing.
Mhm.
And people don't give us enough credit for how
That's
friggin'
true.
smart
Somebody
we
should
are.
compliment me. That's your cue. Hello. Waiting for a compliment.
Yeah, she's talking to you, listeners.
Nope, that's not what I meant.
What was that? You want to know how what I've been enjoying lately?
No, but go ahead.
I actually don't. The one thing. Okay.
Wait, you can't talk. No, you can't
Yeah,
talk
here's the
about
problem.
thing you've been enjoying, can you?
Here's the problem. Yeah, the first thing I've been enjoying lately, you started playing,
Mhm.
and so I think we're gonna do a segment about it.
Yeah, we definitely have enough.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to. The second thing I've been enjoying, I am not allowed to talk about until like 2 episodes from now.
Right.
Because of an embargo.
Mhm.
And the third thing I've been enjoying, I guess, is I finished. Okay, I'll just talk about this. I finished Widow's Bay. The ending,
Oh,
the
nice.
TV show, the ending was. I could see why some people were disappointed with it, but I really liked it, and I think it
Nice.
sets it up. I think it sets up. Now that we know it's renewed for season 2, I think it's in a really good place to keep going. And I'm
Awesome.
really excited about the future of that show. There's some damage that has been done to the characters that are going to make them a little harder to like in the next
Mhm.
season, but I think it holds its tone really well, and it managed to find comedy in a situation I would have thought impossible to find comedy in the
Mhm.
season finale. So I really liked the way that wrapped up. The other thing that I finished is Mina the Hollower.
Oh, you finished it. Yay.
And I can imagine as people finish this game, I imagine people will be finishing it like somewhere this month, right? Like last week or this week or next week, right? As people start getting to the end of Mina the Hollower and having thoughts about it.
Mhm.
I imagine it's going to be a controversial ending. It is. This will be a vibe spoiler. It is really depressing. It is a really bummer ending.
Okay.
It is, yeah. And I don't know. So if everybody remembers when Yacht Club Games did Shovel Knight, they did like 1,000 DLCs for it.
Mhm.
And That's not true. I think they did like 5, but they were huge. They were like an entirely new game each time they released a DLC.
Mhm.
And granted, those were Kickstarter goals, stretch goals. So I don't know if we can expect the same thing from Mina the Hollower,
Yeah.
but it feels like they left it in a place to pick up with either DLC or a sequel, because they really lean into this idea of this is what I was thinking of as I was thinking of the ending. Is there's a difference between ends justify the means and
Mhm.
the like Kantian moral imperative, right? And both involve sometimes doing things that are going to harm people.
Mhm.
But like ends justify the means is sort of like inflicting suffering because you think that there's going to be a good outcome at the end, right? Like you are doing something you are morally opposed to.
Mhm.
Obviously, the big example of ends justify the means is Holocaust, right? But uh, a moral imperative that makes sometimes following a moral imperative can sometimes make people's lives worse in the short term to make them better in
Mhm.
the long term. And I think there's something Mina the Hollower is kind of getting in that at that. And a good example of that might be like environmentalism, right?
Mhm.
Where because you believe in this thing, you might need to dismantle things that help people
Mhm.
and make people's lives better, because in the end it's going to save the earth, right?
Sure.
And I think Mina the Hollower is kind of getting it. That sort of idea is like at the end of the game, the world is the people in this world are doing worse than they were before Mina showed up.
Mhm.
But it is for an ultimately good purpose.
Yeah.
It is to save them in the long run. And I think they are really I think this is very it says a lot about, say, like AI and internet and social media and stuff. These things that might be making people's lives better in the short term, but are ultimately going to destroy the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's a really interesting ending. It's a hard game. So I
Mhm.
imagine again it's going to be a little, people aren't a lot of people haven't finished it yet, and a lot of
Right.
people are finishing it around the time that I did. So I'm interested to hear the discourse about it as people start finishing the game. But it's a bummer ending.
That sucks. That's hard because yeah, I don't know. I think in video games people have trouble with like difficult choices and bummer endings, especially when the game looks cute and kind of
Yeah.
uplifting, you know. And
Yes.
it's a hard game as well, so you want to be rewarded for like all this time and energy you put in and yeah.
Right. I guess maybe you can tell, I think the ending is really smart and thoughtful. So I guess intellectually I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
But emotionally I wasn't. Emotionally I
Oh,
was like, "That's it? That's
yeah.
the end of the game? That's
Oh,
that is what all my efforts like added up to?"
yeah.
So I wouldn't have wanted them to do it any other way, right? Because
Yeah.
it is making the point it's making, and it is making it really well. Like I don't think they've made a mistake here.
Sure.
I just got to the end and was like, "Oh." Right?
Oh.
So, anyway, I didn't think I'd had that much to say about Meet of the Hollower's ending, but apparently I had a lot of thoughts.
So those podcasts always go. We
Yeah.
have a lot of thoughts.
Speaking of shit I didn't think I had a ton to say about, but it turns out I have a lot of thoughts.
Mhm.
Do you wanna put on some some music to flip your Victrola around to I don't what?
What?
You wanna
Yeah,
put on some
sure.
some old ass music and then come back and talk about Roses, wanna talk about the game Letter Lost with me?
Let's do it. Hey everyone, welcome back to Save Your Game. I am Pushing Up Roses. With me, as always, the enigmatic, punky, menace goblin, Matt Ocamp.
Huh. So
Those were all compliments because I'm nice like that.
sure,
I give my friends compliments, you know?
but it did sound like you said enigmatic,
No, I said it.
which would be like
Did I?
he is not igmatic.
Pretty average.
He is the least igmatic person I've ever met.
Whoops. This is not what I meant.
I don't well
What a Freudian
igmatic
slip.
igmatic doesn't I don't think that means anything. So what are we talking about?
We are talking about a new game called Letter Lost, which is
Yeah.
a hybrid game of puzzles, adventure, simulation, and escape room.
It's by Flat 9 Games. It just came out in June. It came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Feel
like a
stupid.
it's a simulation game that has more going on under the surface. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm going to say it wears its influences on its sleeve really hard.
Sure.
And
Yeah, sure.
but I don't know that it quite lives up to any of them. So, why don't you tell people what they're doing, and then I'll explain what I mean by that.
Okay. So in this game, you wake up in a dungeon. Nothing is explained. You're just in a dungeon. You're a character that you need to kind of figure out. This is a tutorial, but you will wake up
It's
in the dungeon more times than
it's
once.
very disorienting because you think you're
Yeah.
about to turn on a cozy game about opening letters.
It is, yeah, that's true. It was a little jarring. I opened this game and I'm like, what? So you wake up in this dungeon. It serves as a tutorial right away. Shows you how to move and it gives you a couple puzzles on how to quote escape the dungeon. And once you do, you are in a post office, a post
Mhm.
office in Carnum, and you are the new like postmaster. And for the first week, every day you get a call from a woman named Liv, who is like in charge of this branch, I guess, of the post office. And I, you have some dialogue trees, which are fun. So when you talk to Liv, you can be like sarcastic or you can be nice. I don't know if they influence the story, but I like flirting with Liv. I like flirting with the other branch person.
I tried to
Um,
be really realistic and be like, "What the fuck is happening? I just
oh,
woke up in a dungeon.
yeah, yeah.
What? I don't want to work in a post office.
Yeah.
What is this?"
I started that. Eventually I started kind of going that way. So you're working at this post office, and that's where kind of the simulation
Mhm.
mechanics come in. They show you how to stamp letters, process, put the letters through the mail slots like an old timey post office. And you, at some point, you get to not package, but send out packages. And there's different little mechanics to that. You're basically running a post office, but also it's weird. You're talking to yeah, so you're talking to characters as well. Think about strange horticulture, strange antiquities, very
Yes.
similar mechanic. People come up to your window, they ring a bell, and you talk to them, and they're all fucking weird because I think
Mhm.
this is another Lovecraftian game, so everyone is really weird. Um, Nobody seems to know what's going on. Nobody recognizes you, but people seem to think that they've seen you before, they're feel. There's a lot of feelings of like deja vu in this game right away.
Yes.
So you're doing your tasks, and a week goes by, right? And I get like a little performance thing. Man, I fucked up the first time because I wasn't paying attention. So one of the mechanics is loading the truck, and you have to scan the packages to see if there's like volatile
Mhm.
things or fragile things. Man, I just put all the packages together next to each other and I was docked like $200. Anyway, I
Wow. Okay.
fucked up.
Yeah. Let's talk about these. Let's talk
Fucked
about these
up.
sim mechanics real quick before we move on to the end of the first week. So,
Sure.
what'll happen is people come up to you, and every morning you have a stack of letters when you get down to the post office, and people will come up and hand you letters. And the letters, you have to look at the address and then grab the correct stamp and stamp
Mhm.
them, and then put them in this correct slot.
And there's only
Um,
3, so it's not, it's not that hard. You will get into a rhythm.
yeah, Doloth Hills, Drag Shallow Bay, and Wistvale. And
Yeah.
each of them have their own stamp. But as you go along, you find like there will be very much like Papers, Please. There will be little exceptions to the rules. And it'll be like, hey, all Wistvale mail today, you have to stamp return to sender.
Right. Or you have
Or
to shred it.
all drag shallow mail today gets shredded, or all Doloth Hills mail gets mailed via the sewer grate next to the next to your desk.
Wait, does that
Um,
happen?
yeah, and then
What? That's
there's
so
other
funny.
districts that appear, and I don't want to spoil anything, but there's other districts that appear that in order to send things in that district, you have to do things
Yeah.
in very weird ways.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
very almost like supernatural ways. Like how would the
Yeah.
letters possibly get there? But and then you start getting packages, and like you said, you have to put them on a scale. You have to there's a weigh button and a scan button, and you stamp those,
Mhm.
and then you put them in a chute, and then eventually the truck opens up, and the truck and all the packages are different shapes, and you have to arrange them like like Resident Evil
Yeah.
inventory or something, like a like fitting shapes on a grid.
Yeah.
um
They're like little Tetris shapes, little
yes,
boxes, and like little L's, and some of them are volatile, so you can't put those next to a specific thing. And
they
the
can't
pallets
touch
are
other
like old. Yeah,
packages,
I can't
and
touch
then
other packages.
pallets are old, so they have holes in them, so not everything's always going to fit, and there are certain types of fragile packages can't touch holes in the pallet.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It's like doing these simple tasks but with these added complexities.
Yeah.
And
And
then
you do get paid for these tasks. You are getting money. And part of this simulation, and I'll just go over like really quickly because
please,
there's more to it than this, but there's a catalog that you can use your money in. Uh, you can actually redecorate your whole office if you wanted to. I chose the ocean
oh wow,
wallpaper.
you spent money. You spent $500 on the ocean.
You know what? It was 250 and I don't
Oh,
regret it,
okay.
okay? The catalog has different the catalog can be used later for actually puzzles. It gets very deep, but there is a catalog and you can like you're not doing these menial tasks for no reason. There is kind of an escalation there. You're trying to save money to get things from the catalog to
And
help you,
and
with
the
this game.
there's like a if you save up $2,000, you can get wax seals for your envelopes, and then
Yeah.
you get $1 more per envelope and per package if
Yeah.
you get um there's upgrades like the stamps will fly to your hands a little faster, or the
Mhm.
envelopes will move across your desk faster, or
Yeah.
little things like that, which make it sound like idle game level, but
It does. Yeah.
it's not quite that. It's just it's a sim that what you can do, there is a helpline that you can call at any point, and you can ask for more mail.
Right.
So, or less mail if you're getting stressed out. So, it's when you can start speeding up your movements, and then you can ask for more mail and then get a little bit more done per day and then earn more money, that kind of.
Yeah. It's certainly a game of balance because you can't really forego these tasks. Like you have to manage the post office and you have to greet the customers in order to move forward with the more puzzly, escape
And
room
story
aspects of this
stuff, yeah.
game. Yeah.
So, what happens when you get to the end of the week?
So yeah, at the end of the week, which I guess are called loops, at the end of the week, you talk to Liv, and she gives you just a little report on how you were doing, And if you don't mess up the truck like I did, hopefully you'll get a little bit more
You
money
get a
for doing
bonus,
that.
yeah.
And then you wake up in the dungeon again.
Yes.
And it's the same dungeon you woke up in as before, except this time you already have like solved these puzzles, so you know how to get out. Like
You have
you
your
can get out
inventory
right
with you.
away.
You have your,
Yeah,
like, flashlight and letter opener
yeah,
and,
and like the key you
keys, yeah.
found to get out of your cell, you actually wake up in a cell.
Yeah.
Um, and then so you wake up and that's kind of weird, right? But you go back into the post office and Liv calls you and it's like nothing ever happened. She's like, "Welcome to your first day." It's like Groundhog Day, right? You wake
Yeah.
up and it's the same day, but nobody remembers you. Liv doesn't remember you. She's trying to tell you how to process the mail again. And then you go to your second week. And do you
Yeah.
want to take it from there?
Sure. So you start to notice certain things like customers are coming back on the same exact days, and you start to realize like, okay, these are weird customers, and I kind
Yeah.
of remember what happened with them last week.
Right.
So how do I? So maybe I can actually change the outcome here. There's like a woman who comes every week and tells you to mail a package or mail a letter to her husband. And when you look up her husband in the address book, he's dead.
Yeah.
It says deceased. And you're like, what? And there's another woman who comes and her daughter is missing.
Yes. I haven't figured that out like at all. I don't know what I'm doing with that yet.
I had to look up a hint for that, and it was far easier than I thought it was.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Like I
But
have a couple of ideas on
mhm.
how to yeah, I'm just not there yet.
So what I'll say is if you start playing Letter Lost, this is my advice, and then we'll talk a little bit more deeply about it. My advice is play through the first week, just getting a hang of the simulation and getting a hang of who the customers are, and just like play it like it is, like a post office simulator,
Mhm.
with a little bit of weirdness to it. Don't try to solve any big puzzles. And then on your second week, you're gonna want to do two things. Number one, you're gonna want to start listening to the radio. There's a
Yeah.
radio in the post office, and it's got a couple stations, but the two most important ones are the news station
Mhm.
and the psychic station.
Right.
So you're going to keep looping over and over. So I'd spend
Yep.
1 week listening to the news station all day every day, and 1 week listening to the psychic station all day every day,
Yeah.
and maybe take some notes.
Yeah.
And you'll start noticing that there'll be like names and situations in those broadcasts that are similar to the situations and names of the people who are appearing at your window.
Yes.
Um, a lot changes throughout this game. A
Mhm.
lot of the things that we've said already turn out not to be true. The things that we and Roses have just told you about this game turn out to be untrue.
Mhm.
And the character doesn't know it, and we don't know it when we start. When I said this game wears its influences on its sleeve, like first obviously is Papers, Please. It's got
Yeah.
that simulation and the rules changing and that stuff. Second is Strange Antiquities and Strange Horticultures. Like it's got the characters still
Mhm.
portraits appearing at your window and asking you for weird stuff, and they have unfold like stories that unfold throughout the week.
Yeah.
Um and you can influence them.
Right.
The next big influence is the podcast Welcome to Night Vale.
Right. Yeah. I read about that.
You read about it. Okay.
I read somebody saying this is like Night Vale. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. The radio station, if you've ever listened to Welcome to Night Vale, the radio station is basically it is doing an impression of
Yeah.
Welcome to Night Vale. I clocked that pretty immediately, and if since it's like a lower quality Night Vale, if you're a Night Vale fan, you just kind of got to get past that.
Sure.
Because there is a lot to love about this game.
Yeah, there's something special, and you like we're saying it has its influences, right? But there's actually something really special about the first person like 3D setting you're in. It's just giving that kind of old school first person adventure game vibe to me. A little bit of
Right.
scratches even because you do need to investigate your setting, like on
Yes.
top of balancing kind of the simulation portion, you do need to look around kind of like you would in an escape room. You need to look for clues and find letters and find things you can open. And
Hmm.
yeah,
Which
there's something I really like about that particular aspect. I
and
like the kind of exploratory thing
I
about
would
it.
really say, like, during your first week or 2, don't worry about that stuff. If you stumble
Yeah,
across it, give it a shot, but
yeah.
don't worry too much about that stuff because it'll take your focus away from the more interesting things, like what's going on with the customers. Um,
I do wonder if in us talking about this, is this game doing too much? And is
yes.
that why we're getting frustrated? You know?
So I will have a host of criticisms for this game, but I do want to talk. So hold on to that, put a pin in that,
Yeah.
because I do want to talk about when the horror starts coming in. So not only do you wake up in a dungeon the first day, so rewinding back to your very first day, you will be told that there's a mandatory break at the end of the day. Like your quitting time is at a mandatory time, and you can't work past your quitting time. And you find when it's time to quit, a mysterious force will compel you up the stairs
Yeah.
into your bedroom, and you will find out that you live here. You live
Yep.
here now.
You live here. Yep.
You live in the post office, and you can't escape. And your post office is decorated with whatever, like there's an application process at the beginning, and
Mhm.
your bedroom is decorated with whatever you told them on your application you most fear. um there is you'll find mysterious letters. You'll find there's like a at some point, if you're looking around the ceiling, you'll find like a mysterious creature lives here.
Mhm.
There's a guy named Indrik who will interrupt the flow of your day every
Mhm.
now and then and
Every
ask you
now
to
and
do
then, yeah.
something wild, and that's what'll really tip you towards, okay, there's puzzles I have to solve, like bigger puzzles I have
Yeah.
to solve. Also, if you sleep with the lights off at any time, you wake up with a man standing over your bed in
I thought that was
shadows with
Indrik.
a
I thought
bowler.
that's Indrik, right?
It might be Indrik,
Because he has like a
but if
little but I don't know. I don't really
yeah,
know, but the first time I did that, I was so freaked out.
yeah,
Like, this is not I think I texted you yesterday, like, I'm too terrified to keep playing this game. That's because that happened,
yes,
and I wasn't sure what else. There's some scary moments. There's some startling moments
yes.
in this game.
Um, but you can select no ghosts at the beginning also.
But what I want to know what that actually
Me
like.
too.
So would that get rid of the guy that looks over you, or like what does that even do?
I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
like I'm on week 5 or loop
Mhm.
5, or like I'm into it, or like I'm halfway through that, and I don't know if I find anything ghostly scary yet, but maybe I
Besides
don't
the
know.
man over your bed, maybe. And so I
I
got to
don't know.
loop 14, and weird stuff starts happening. And I gotta say, I didn't like it because I was starting to save money and thinking that I was getting close to solving puzzles. And then
Mhm.
everything sort of starts changing in a
Mm.
way that I'm like, it feels like it's heading towards a pre-scripted ending. And I'm
Okay.
like, wait, wait, hold on. I was working towards
Yeah.
something
I mean,
here.
but we don't know that yet because we're not. It could
Right.
still not
I
disappoint you in that way.
maybe I will
Yeah.
say that everything does change
Oh,
around the place
interesting.
that I'm at.
Okay.
Um, some very, very major things that happen every single day stop happening.
Are you finding yourself scared?
No, but I could
Okay.
see it being a little creeped out if I hadn't been getting so frustrated with it. So let's get into okay. Well, first, let's say what do we like about this game?
Yeah. I think I like this game more than you do, like based on our chats. Like agree with you on everything. I think there's
Uh-huh.
just something special about the vibe that I feel like I really do need to
Yeah.
keep playing this, even though I do think the game is trying to do and be a little too much. Like I said, it is a time loop, it is an escape room, it is puzzles, it is a simulation game, it is a mystery, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like it is really doing a lot, and I find that I am getting a little overwhelmed. Because I have fucking OCD. So once it's true, I have
Yeah.
legitimate OCD. So once I start like doing the menial tasks, I need to get this done. And you in a game like this, you really need to kind of prioritize what you want to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, because the game is doing a lot. And you can't forego one thing. You at least have to balance these things you're doing. You have to do the simulations, you have to, you know, interact with the customers, you have to look at your settings. All these things are important. But I do, and yes, it does get very tedious. Like the way I was going through stamping letters, I was like possessed. I'm like, I gotta stamp all these
Mhm.
fucking letters, even though I feel like I'm losing my mind. Maybe that's by design. Maybe you're supposed to feel the tedium, which could be argued, is that fun? And then we get into the whole argument, do games have to be fun, which we're not
Well,
doing today.
so all right. So I agree. I like the setting. I like some of the writing.
Yeah, I like the writing. Yeah.
I like I like this game in concept, but the execution is so off to me. And
Hmm.
I think when you bring up fun, I think that's one part of it. I think one part of it is um games that have tedium to them. Stardew Valley, for example, um, or Strange Horticulture, Strange Antiquity, right? They
Sure.
have a loop that is fun to do.
I'm
And
gonna argue real quick though that sometimes even those games get exhausting. But I think what you're saying is this game is on a different tier of exhausting for you. It's a different
yes,
level of tedium.
yes. So when I am so yeah, like it adds to the atmosphere and there's some artistic merit to it, right? When it's just when you are trapped here at this post office and this is what you have to do. There might even be some commentary about like capitalism there, right?
Hmm.
But when I actually have to save up $2,000 and
Hmm.
that takes like 2 to 3 weeks of nonstop stamping letters
Hmm.
and mailing packages, it's like, okay, then you don't it doesn't feel like you're making your point anymore. It feels like you're
Hmm.
just wasting my time as a human being, my
Right.
time on this earth.
Because you have to
And
focus on that and not focus
mhm,
on maybe some of the more interesting parts of this game, the mysteries and the character arcs and
yes.
things like that. Now I'm wasting my time,
Now,
but I
if
have to. I
these
got to get the money.
if it took 3 in-game days to save up enough money to buy these things, I think that would fix it, right? Not fix it, but that would make it a lot easier, right? Like, okay, if I want this to go a little easier, if I want to make a little bit more money a little faster, I can save up for a couple days and then
Hmm.
buy this thing. But again, you're doing this for so long
Yeah.
and it's like what am I doing? And again, when I start getting to what feels like hurtling towards the end of this game and I'm like, well, what the fuck? I didn't get to save up enough money to buy all these things.
Right.
So what was I
Right.
supposed to have been prioritizing?
Yes,
Um,
and I'm struggling with that too. I am not quite sure what to prioritize, and this is a slightly non-linear game in that we have found different things
yes.
throughout our playthrough, and we're like, I don't what? You found what code? What is that for? And so I don't, yeah, you're right. I don't know what to prioritize. I don't really quite know what I'm working on. The only consistent thing I have are these damn like menial tasks, you know?
Yes, that stopped being fun on like loop 5 or 6.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I'm getting there. I agree.
and even the complexity that they introduce, it feels more frustrating than it is than it does fun or even challenging. It's not even that
Right.
challenging. The
Right.
other thing, it's made in F mod, so there are some like graphical or mechanical things that feel a little wonky, that feel a little
Sure.
amateurish, and it's like, okay, whatever. I mean, sometimes you can make a masterpiece with limited tools. That's fine.
Absolutely.
Um,
Mouthwashing is like that. That's not a
but
polished game, but it's a masterpiece.
right, but you really feel it in this game, I
Mm.
think.
Mhm.
And that's a problem. Same with the holes in the writing. You really
Mhm.
feel those where somebody says something or somebody repeats something and you're like, "Wait, what? Is
Right.
this a clue or is this a?" Or as we and you were talking about just before we got on the call, there is one puzzle that there's like 5 or 6 different ways to get this special number that leads to another mystery, possibly the solution to a puzzle.
Mhm.
And you could be working on this puzzle. Like, you could be listening to, say, the psychic station for an entire week, taking notes every day and being like, "Okay, I'm slowly figuring out what this code that they're that is kinda hidden in these broadcasts is." And then you
Mhm.
get to the end of it and you're like, "Oh, it's that fucking number that I just read by shining my black light on the floor.
Right.
I already have this."
Yeah.
And that is bad writing, that's bad design.
Mm.
It seems like they played Blueprints and got the wrong lessons from it. Because
Sure.
there are multiple ways to solve puzzles in Blueprints, but kind of like when you've solved them, and you know what you have to put your efforts towards,
Mhm.
and you're constantly in Blueprints running into revelations,
Yeah.
and it's super exciting. At in Letter Lost, sometimes you hit what seems like they want to be a revelation for you, and you're like, "Oh, I already know that."
Right, right.
And it's just frustrating and kind of boring. The last thing I'll say is in a game like this, you need to really be able to trust it, because
Mhm.
if you don't have a clue yet, you have to be able to trust, okay, it'll come. I'll find
Yeah.
it. Or either it's right in front of me and I will find it eventually, or it's gonna appear over time. And there's so many puzzles. There's a lot of bugs in this game, and there's so
Yeah, it's
many
a little
puzzles that are
buggy.
broken, or like I said, puzzles that are redundant,
Yeah. Yeah.
that I don't trust the game. And so when I'm working on something and I'm running into dead ends, I start to think like, is it even here?
Mhm.
Did am I in am I in a playthrough of the game where this is working, or is it bugged?
Yeah.
Or is this something that I should even be spending my time on, because am I going to get to it and it's going to be that fucking number again that I
Yeah.
found 5 different places?
I think yeah, and I think like we compared some notes and we confirmed we're experiencing the same bug on the same puzzle.
Yes,
And like yeah, I was really upset cuz I figured out the puzzle, but it's not working.
same.
So yeah, I went on to like Steam to look at a just a like a gentle guide and I was right.
Yeah.
And that's so frustrating.
We
It's
both did the
frustrating to
same
me.
thing.
Yeah.
We both had that exact same experience where there was a puzzle, we were working on it, we thought we figured it out, it wasn't happening,
Yeah.
and so we both went to guides, turned out we were both right, and the more frustrating thing, is me and you are stuck on different our game broke on different parts of the puzzle.
Of the so I have something that you don't have. Yeah.
You got a step further than me,
But yeah,
and
I can't get any further.
I started a new game because I thought I was running into so many bugs, because I thought it's because I'd done things out of order. Like, oftentimes when a game is starting to break, I blame myself.
Mm,
I'm like, I fucked something up because I
sure.
played it weird. And then I started a new game, and now this puzzle that we're talking about, the sequence of puzzles we're talking about, won't even start for me.
Yeah, you can't even get to where I am again.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I tried to start a second game and everything in my second game is broken. There's a point at which you need to change a light bulb and there's like a black light, and it's a really cool scene. I'm not going to say anything more about it.
Yeah, I like it.
Um,
It's effective.
but it's broken where you're supposed to be able to do something with that black light that I can't do I could in my first game, I can't in my second game.
That's
And
wild.
second of all, this area where where you have to change the light bulb and there's a black light, there's a light switch. When the light switch is off, the black light is on. When the light switch is on, the regular light is on. That's not supposed to happen.
Oh no. What the?
I've gotten letters stuck in places.
Yep, I have too. There's a letter stuck in the window.
Yeah, for several days. You know
Yep.
what? I got a letter handed to me on a counter that was addressed to you, Y-O-U.
Yeah.
They handed it to me on the counter. I picked up the letter. YOU stayed on the counter, and it has stayed on the counter ever since. Even in my new game, I loaded a new, when I
Wow.
started a new game, YOU is still stuck on the counter.
Yeah, it is it is unfortunately very buggy. And I do have faith that the developers are looking at that and are going to patch the bugs
What gives you that faith?
because mine had already had a patch on it.
Oh, okay. All
So,
right.
like, I've already seen a patch go through, so I think it's well known that this is a buggy game. I already had a patch. I hope that these things get fixed because to be really honest with you, I do like this game. Like, yes, it's doing a ton, but there is something about the vibe that I like. And obviously, a vibe can't carry the whole game. It needs to work. It can't be buggy. It can't be tedious. But there's something. I feel like it just has so much potential. I like the weirdness about it. I like the creepiness about it. I like the cozy setting. And if these puzzles were a little more polished, I would like them too.
Well,
I don't, and maybe that's because I don't play a lot of games like this. You play more games like this than I do.
mhm.
So, like, let's say if I did play Blueprints and I'm like, oh, I see what you're talking about now. It could have been so much better. But considering this is kind of a new experience for me, I'm just like, oh, that's clever. Like, I don't really play escape room games. I don't play time loop games, and it's got that vibe of strange horticulture. So there
Well,
is something I like about it, and there are a few characters I enjoy seeing pop up at the window.
I think the biggest problem here is um it's just a lack of polish everywhere,
Yeah.
right? I I have it's like we said, it's buggy. There's some graphical issues, there's some writing issues, um there's just and even in its best form, in its top form, it feels sort of like a slightly cheaper version of a game like Blueprints, or even of a game like Strange Horticulture.
Hmm.
It's lacking polish.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a game that could have used, I don't know enough about game development, but let's say let's just throw a random number out there. Could have used 6 more months of development
Yeah.
for
Yes,
to
I think it definitely needed more time.
hammer out the bugs, to do
Yeah.
some play testing, to have people say, "Hey, this part isn't fun," to have other
Yeah.
people say, "Hey, I got this clue 5 different times. It's not like
Yeah.
that sucks." Or
No,
like
yeah, I understand.
just to have or even just to say things like, "Hey, the solution to this puzzle is so obtuse
Right.
that I can't imagine how you would have thought I would figure this out."
Yeah.
Um,
And that being said, I keep playing it though. I keep even though I'm having
yeah,
these
I put
frustrations,
14 hours
I
into it.
want to play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played 14 hours. Like, I played a
Yeah.
lot of this game.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, I kind of think I put that much time into this game because I kept letting my expectations be high,
Mm.
and I
Mm.
think I kept being let down.
Okay.
This game is missing polish and it's missing thought that I think, based on what I have seen, they could have done. They had the skill to, they just didn't give it enough time.
Yeah, I think it definitely would benefit from more time. I still really like this game though. I don't know, like, the frustrations aren't deterring me from
Yeah.
playing it, and I don't really know why. I can't really explain that. I think it's just a vibe thing.
I also
I
wonder
really
if it's
do.
the difference between you having 5 loops and me having 14, right?
Yes,
It's
that
just
could
like,
absolutely be
by
as
the
well.
time you get to where I am, you might be like, "Yeah, this game is not as good as I wanted it to be."
Yeah. Yeah. But I think the fact that we want it to be good and there's something we
Yeah.
want from it is a good sign, meaning
Yes.
that this is a good concept.
There's
I
something
actually really
special
like
here,
this
yes.
concept. Yeah.
Yes. I agree with that. It's a good concept. There's something special here. It more than anything, I'm just disappointed that
Sure.
it's not living up to what it feels like it could have been.
Yeah, for sure. And I will give you guys an update when I'm more loops in to see like
Sure.
if the vibe changes, if it doesn't pass the vibe check anymore.
And I'll
But like I
finish my playthrough of that one and see what this like
yeah.
ending thing might be. And maybe it's not an ending, you're right, but
Yeah.
it feels like there's no place for it to go, so I don't know how it wouldn't be.
But yeah, they definitely have to fix these bugs though because yeah,
We can't
they
even criticize it properly because the bugs get in the way.
yeah, exactly. Like the bug I know that if this drawer bug worked, I'd be having a better time with it and we wouldn't have had that conversation, you know?
Well, that's letter lost. I don't I
I
apologize for
feel
being
bad. I
I
whenever we
apologize for
get a
being
little negative,
so
I'm just like,
negative.
"Oh
Yeah.
no."
I apologize for getting so negative about it towards the end there. Hopefully you guys all realize that like again, based on the way we talked about it at the beginning and our little caveats here, there's enough here to like. If it
Yes.
sounds intriguing to you, I would and it's not and cost isn't a problem for you. I would say give it a shot.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot here that's interesting and worth
Yes.
worth your time. Um
I would say give it a shot. I would say it is worth playing because it is such an interesting experience.
but I think I am, this game will stay in the like B minus C plus rank, for me until I see some development on it. And if it stays where it is,
Yeah.
it might, never rise higher than that.
And we've said this before, but like when we're critiquing art like this, I don't waste my time critiquing something that I think has zero potential. I just won't
Absolutely.
really pay attention to it at all, you know. The fact that this media, this piece of art is giving me so much thought means it does have something. It's ultimately a good thing. At least that's Did you know I'm an artist?
I just realized that like we're caveating so much because we feel guilty, but no, this is what we're here for. So
Okay. Okay.
we
People
do we
yell
do.
at me though, Matt. When I'm angry woman on the internet, people get real upset.
I'll fist fight them for you.
Thank you.
So that's letter lost. There's another game we played this week though, right?
There is. I'm so glad we played it.
Me too. Yeah, it's a game I think we were both way, way more positive on. So do we want to play something old and weird?
Like us.
and
Old and
then
weird.
and then come back and talk about
Crushed in time.
yes. Hey everybody, welcome back to Save Your Game. I'm Matt Allcamp. This is the allowed to say negative things on the internet, Pushing Up Roses.
Hi.
And you can't tell
Sorry.
her otherwise.
There's two sides of me, and that's the like extreme chaotic feisty side. And then there's this like sad side that it's like, I'm sad that I
I didn't
criticized a thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
I'm
didn't
so
mean
sorry.
to. Yeah, no,
I'm gonna go
I think we
sulk
all
in a
feel that.
corner.
Yeah. Well, here's a game that I think we're going to have far fewer criticisms of. I believe we haven't talked much about it, but we both played a game called Crushed in Time.
Yes.
Crushed in Time is the third game in a series of games by Draw Me a Pixel.
Yes.
The first game was an old Game Jam game called There Is No Game from 2015, and then they expanded on that with There Is No Game Wrong Dimension in 2020. I think we have an episode about it, or we talked about it on the show. I think
I
during
think
one
we
of
do
our
have. Do we have
recommendations episodes. One of the episodes where we were playing your recommendations, we talked about it.
one?
And
Okay. Okay.
in that game, so There Is No Game was about being in like an operating system that you were actively breaking. There would be like the title would be there and you would like take the letters off of it and use them to solve puzzles or whatever. And all the while
Mhm.
there'd be a narrator saying, "Hey, stop that. this is I close this game. There's no game here," right?
Yeah.
And that game had a bunch of like critiques of different video game genres that were done very comedically,
Mhm.
where you would play like an RPG with a bunch of microtransactions, or relevant to our interests here, you played a LucasArts style point and click adventure
Yeah. Which was
about
so
Sherlock
fun.
Holmes
I
and
was so
Watson,
delighted.
and it was super. It was super cute and super funny. In There Is No Game Wrong to Mention, that was back in 2020, and then just this year in June, they released a full version of the Holmes game, Sherlock Holmes and Watson game, called Crushed in Time. And this game, it's still sort of styled after a LucasArts game, but imagine if LucasArts existed, today. So a little bit better graphics, but still that sort of like quirky, angular cartoon style.
Yeah, almost like a Telltale-esque kinda game. Just aesthetically, not,
Yeah,
really.
like it's its own sort of version of 2.5D, right?
Yeah.
Like it's technically it's 3D, but everything looks a little 2D in screenshots. Like you feel like they're stickers pasted on a background.
Yeah, it's honestly, it works really well, it's super cute. There's a part of me that wishes it was more kind of old school pixel,
Mhm.
but I am actually kinda glad they did something unique with this game because it makes sense with the actual mechanic.
So the thing here is, much like their previous games, they are going for something beyond just a point and click adventure here. You are Sherlock Holmes and Watson trapped in an adventure about game development. um
Which I wanna say sounds like something that would just irritate the fuck out of me because I
uh
don't like meta anything, but this works.
it
This
works
works for me.
really well. It's very funny. They're slowly becoming aware. I don't think they ever become aware of the fact that they're in a game. They see the elements of every you go through every element of designing a game, right? Like you go back in quote unquote back in time, and you end up in like a beta version of the game where there's like frames around all the 3D models, and like elements are missing or broken or upside down. At some point, you end up back in like the what do you call it, in like the designer software,
Mhm.
arranging sprites
Right?
to solve puzzles. Really, really clever stuff. All the way back to, at some point you end up in the game designer's brains, pushing around, like associating ideas to come up with, associating concepts to come up with ideas.
Yeah.
But largely, this still functions as a point and click adventure game. Although instead of pointing and clicking, you are. Do you want to tell them the main mechanic here?
So the mechanic is the beginning of Mario 64
Mm-hmm.
when you can stretch out like Mario's face and like it stretches like back into him, except in this game, that's the mechanic. So like you can click and hold down parts of the screen and like snap it back and it'll move stuff or it'll hit
Mm-hmm.
one of the characters and make them move. It's hard to explain. Hopefully that like gets some of the point across. But, like, the screen is stretchy. Like,
You can
you can
grab.
actually do this anywhere on the screen.
Yeah, you can even do it. You can do it anywhere on the screen. You can grab any part of the screen and just stretch it, and then when you let go, it snaps back to where it was. But if you grab, say, an item that is interactable on the screen, it might allow you to throw it across the room.
Mhm.
And like you said, if you grab somebody's face, they act like they've been slapped by an invisible hand, and they complain about it and they move. So if you need them in a different part of the screen, you just slap them and they move around.
Yeah.
Um, you can also interact with like parts of the like you stretch a door open or stretch like a drawer or something like that to you can kind of interact with the background in interesting ways.
Yeah. And what's really funny is that you are the player doing this, and every time you do this cracks me up. Every time you do something, Sherlock and Watson are like, "How did that happen? I was just standing here doing nothing."
Yeah,
I just think that's so funny, and that's why the meta thing doesn't bother me, is because these really are just characters. They don't know what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? So
they
like I
often
guess I don't mind because
Mhm.
it's not a wink at me. This is the game. They are video game characters.
Yes, exactly, and they come up with all these ways to justify what's occurring, and they're like, "Oh, I guess the wind is very strong today," or like or like Sherlock will keep accusing Watson of doing things even though he can clearly see that Watson's nowhere near the thing that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's really there's some
It's
really great laugh out loud moments in
oh
this
my
game.
god.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Throughout the entire thing too, there's a lot of interesting point and click puzzles towards the beginning, and I think I was thinking about this as I was playing it, and this like weird stretchy mechanic, right? And this like flinging things around,
Mhm.
and I was thinking about it in a conceptual level, right? Like this is a game about game design, and
Right.
I was thinking about like there's a lot of like bugs and testing and betas and alpha like different versions and stuff, and I was thinking about it like, okay, when you're designing a game, yeah, or you're doing any sort of piece of art like this, you're pushing and pulling the different parts of the game, trying to get them just right. So on a
Right.
conceptual level it works, and then I was thinking about it like as okay, in the early point and click days, right,
Mhm.
every studio kept trying to think of different ways to make interaction easier, right? They started with text parser and they're like, this is too much. What if we just give a list of verbs that people can click on
Right.
so they don't have to type them in? And we'll just try to think
Right.
of all the verbs that they might be using. And
Which
then
made things honestly worse.
yes.
Yeah.
And and then they were like, well, what if we just pare down to just like 3 verbs and when you click on any object, it'll ask you which of those 3 verbs you wanna use, and then, now a lot of point and click games are like, it's context dependent. If you click on
Yes.
something, it kinda knows what you wanna do with it.
It's like single clicking these
Mhm.
days. What we played a game that was single click. Was it the last postmodern? Was it Rights of Arkham? That was
I think
single, right?
yes, The Last Rites of Arkham was single click, yeah.
Yeah,
Might
which
have been
is so
yeah,
helpful. Like I know we want to be fancy and stuff. Like I'll accept a verb coin every now and then, but man,
yeah.
I like me
So,
some single click.
I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, like, if they had this like, this is a sort of mechanic that they definitely would have LucasArts would have tried in the 1990s if they had the technology,
Mhm.
right? While
Right.
they were, like, digging around for different ways to make you interact with things on the screen, if somebody there had thought of this and they had the technology, grabbing stuff and chucking it around the room definitely would have been a game we would have seen back then.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's both good and bad. Like I really enjoyed the
Yeah.
beginning parts of this game because it was so unique. I was just like, what am I doing? I'm like launching a doorknob into and some of them were really clever puzzles, and some of them later, and we'll talk about this later in the game, are just like so I was so frustrated, but it's hard for me to be mad at this game because it is so clever and
Yes.
so smart that I just had such a delightful time with it. Do we want to kind of say what this I mean, the story you kind of touched on it already. The storyline is like we're kind of it's about game development, right? But there is kind of a story happening with the
Yeah.
characters that relates to the game development.
Yeah, so Yeah, well, we could kind of go back and forth about the actual beats of the story. So, Sherlock and Watson are at home, and Watson gets a letter asking. There's a woman who needs his help at some mansion. And on the way, that's when they start to run into these meta problems. The title screen of the game crashes on them, almost wrecks their car.
Hmm.
And they run into this conspiracy theorist guy named Mr. Wilhelm, and he does the Wilhelm scream several times in the game,
Hmm.
who is telling them like something isn't quite right here. Like things in this world feel fake. And they're
Right.
like, this guy's crazy.
There's also a little love story.
So yeah, you want to get to that? They get to the mansion.
So cute. Also, there's a sheep in this game that
Mm,
is so fucking cute, and we have to solve a puzzle with this sheep, but we don't get to keep him.
you don't get to keep
And
the
I was
sheep.
devastated, but that's just a side. That's just a side note. So we get to the mansion, and we meet this character named Emma, and she's like this beautiful redhead character that's who signed the note to Watson, but she's like, I didn't write this. This is not. I don't know what's going on here. But she like is very smitten with
She's
Watson
also
and like,
upside down.
oh yeah, we meet her and she's upside down. That's true.
Your first puzzle with her is like, how do you get her right side up? How do you get her
Yeah,
to the floor?
yeah, and like yeah, it's just really cute. They're like very smitten with each other.
It's so funny. The way that they show that is Watson will give her a kiss, like she'll extend her hand and he'll kiss her hand, and he'll do it for so long.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just
so
the
long.
longest, just like
I don't know if I would be like offended or like charmed if somebody kissed my hand for like a minute long. Don't test that, by the way, at Adventure X people.
don't do that.
This is not a challenge. This is just reflection.
As you are walking around this mansion with what is it, Emma Files,
Yes, Emma Files.
the mansion starts to kind of like deconstruct itself. It starts to kind of like, well, because when you get there, she's not there, and this other weird guy, Mr. Placeholder,
Yeah, Emmett
Emmett
placeholder.
Placeholder, is there, and he steals your car, puts a little time travel device on it, and goes back in time. So you have to make
Yeah,
a time machine. You go back in time. You find Emma Files in the past, but because you're in the past, things are not. Nothing is working right. Everything
yeah,
it's like a game in like its pre-alpha
yes,
stages where assets are in the wrong place and you have to use the mechanics of the game and solve puzzles to like the mansion should be on the ground. The
yeah,
like your reflection should be a reflection of you, not an upside down picture of you or
right,
whatever.
right.
Just
Yeah, there's bugs essentially. There's
yes,
bugs. It's
exactly.
yeah, it's newly in development. There are bugs. We run into like placeholders of our own characters as Sherlock and Watson, and they
Hmm.
just say testing, testing, one two
Testing
one
one
two.
two
They're
1 2.
so cute for saying absolutely nothing. They have their own personalities, and I just wanted to protect them.
Yeah, they follow you around for most of the game.
This game is
Um,
funny.
this game is super funny. Oh, so we should talk about. So, as another thing that happens as you travel back in time is you go through different, um, like eras of game design. So you do go through a text adventure section.
Mhm.
You also go through a Game and Watch section where you have like a little one of those little handheld video game devices that has two buttons or whatever,
Yeah.
um, that everybody's stuck in. There's another point where you go into you go far into the future and go into the remake of the game. And I thought this was so funny. Um, Everything's a quick time event. So Watson starts complaining about how he can't move. And then it zooms in on his foot and it's like lift left leg
Mhm.
and you lift his foot. It's because lift right leg and you
Yeah.
lift his right leg. And Watson's like, or Sherlock is like, why are you doing that? Why don't you just like walk up to the door? And Watson's like, I can't move my feet.
He also says something in that part that made me laugh so hard. Like Watson lifts one foot, and
Mhm.
Sherlock is like, "By Jove, what a good flamingo impression!" those like little wholesome jokes, which are scattered throughout this game, just delight me.
There's a point where he's trying to tell Mr. Placeholder the Emma's name, like he's trying to tell him the situation that's going on because
Yeah.
Mr. Placeholder doesn't remember it for some reason in this version. And you have to go through these like dialogue options, and you have to get them wrong sometimes to unlock the correct answers.
Right.
And so you can just have Watson just say the wrong name, and everyone would be like, what are you talking about? Why did you say that? And he's like, I have no idea. I have no idea why that name came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And then you can say it again, and Sherlock is like, I don't know what is wrong with you.
That was another joke. I think I texted you. I'm like, this is my favorite joke. Is during the spelling section, he's trying to like spell Emma's name, but he can't. And
Yeah.
he just says "moo," and Sherlock's just like, "What a striking bovine impersonation!" Why do I think those are so funny?
Man, I don't know how much we want to keep giving away, but I mean,
I
because
know.
it's
It's a
basically
lot.
like that. There's a point where you end up on a drawing board. There's a point where you end up in a mobile phone.
Yeah.
There's a point where
There's a lot of like different style of adventure game mechanics.
yes,
Like so that spelling one where we're spelling things wrong. That is reminiscent of something. I don't know if that's reminiscent of like a Telltale game or something else, but it felt or like the I feel like there are some sections that kind of mimic like Indigo Prophecy or Heavy Rain. Do you feel that way?
yeah, I think that is what it was going after in that
Yeah.
remake version. Because that chapter was called "Quick Time Eventually." Quick
Yes,
time.
QuickTime eventually.
So it's
Yeah.
making fun of the overprevalence of quick time events in modern adventure games. Um, there's there's one part. This is a little spoilery, just a little bit,
Okay.
because I won't give the context. But there's one point where everybody is Watson,
Yeah.
and that is my favorite part of the game because they're all very alarmed to be Watson.
They
So
are very alarmed, yes.
you are going around looking for Watsons and collecting Watsons
It's
because
like that bug where every character looks like the same character.
yes, and they're all
Yeah.
screaming. So you find them, and it's all Watson's voice, and they're all just like, "Oh!" And so like you just keep like going to different like a hidden object game. You keep going to different environments and like opening like drawers or lifting paintings or like looking behind bushes, and there'll
Yeah.
just be another Watson behind there that just goes, "Oh!" It's
There's a
so
part in that
fucking
game.
funny.
There's a part in that part where we're looking for Watsons and we're back in
Mhm,
Sherlock's office looking for
mhm.
Watsons. And we're doing kind of the similar gameplay of stretching and moving and things like
Yeah.
that. And we move the Watson to a phone and it rings and he picks it up and screams into it. I just laughed so hard. I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
Like what a good this game
And
is fantastic at little touches like that, little details that are just so hilarious and make
it
it
is
this very well-rounded game.
so wildly funny. I laughed
Yeah,
out loud
it's
at this game
funny.
so many times.
I
There
will say
was
that I'm a little
yeah.
surprised that that last part is your favorite part. It is like very fun. I thought it went on a little too long. I thought
It
there were too many Watsons
there
in there.
was there was 30 Watsons.
There's so many Watsons.
and there was 31 but what I liked about that scene, or that series of scenes, is that it was every single one was a different puzzle, like a different one room puzzle. Every Watson, the solution to the puzzle was in the room, was in the room with you
Yeah.
at all times. So like it was just kind of a series of logic puzzles,
Right.
but done in such a funny way. I think the reason and it was a few too many, but
Yeah.
the reason I liked it was because the reward for everything was a screaming Watson. And that was so funny
So
every
funny.
single time.
I
And
have
you
to
get
I
them
have to
all in
say
a
that some of the Watsons have the assets of, like, the sheep and, like, a bird. Like, they are
there's a
also
bird
turned into
Watson and a sheep
Watson.
Watson. There's
Yeah.
lady Watsons, man Watsons. There's so many Watsons, and you get them all into a room together, and they're all screaming at each other. It's so funny. Then the rest of the last few chapters of the game are just a nonstop series of action, like a
Yeah.
nonstop action, in a way that I did not expect. And it was
Yeah.
good because I was starting to grow weary of the game. Like I was like, oh man, this game's a little long.
It is a little long, yeah.
It's about five. You're gonna play it between 5 and 6 hours, I'd say.
Yeah. I think
Um,
I feel like there were times I spent way too long on some of these puzzles. Like, finish your point, and then maybe we can talk about some of the things that were a little more frustrating, because I have some frustrations.
sure, yeah, absolutely. I think my point is just like I liked that the end of it was so kinetic and that it just
Yeah.
kept moving because I was running out of energy
Yeah. Yeah, I
for
can see
this
why
game.
you would, because the game also in tone is very enthusiastic and in your face and energetic. So, and that's not a bad thing. It's just to be able to handle all that in one can get weary.
Right. So yeah, what we can talk about criticisms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are very personal, subjective
Right.
criticisms. I am not the most fond of logic puzzles, and that is because I grew up on moon logic, which that's a problem in and of itself that I don't really know how to fix. But there are some puzzles that are overly complicated and also somewhat timed. And when I say that, so you have to stretch out, you have to like click on something, make it move, make another thing move at the same time that thing is
Yeah.
moving. And just for me, and this is maybe just how my brain works, some of the puzzles just weren't very clear. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing.
Yes.
And that's cuz I'm not used to those puzzles. When we played Mist, I'm like, I don't how do you know how to do this? Cuz I'm not used to these puzzles at all, but they're like coming very naturally. But there's that one puzzle that we at least agreed on that was frustrating, which is like rearranging like assets in like a game making program.
Software, yeah.
Yeah, a game making software. Um,
And
I had a
they
hard time with that.
and the angles at which you have to put them, they overlap. So they
Yes.
just kept you just keep like and you have to a lot of this game is about aiming. Um
Yeah.
Aiming
True.
and angles, and it can be really finicky. No, you can't fail ever.
Right.
You
Right.
can have to start a small sequence over, right? Like for example, you launch a Watson into the air, he falls in the ground, and if you're not in the right space to do the thing you need to do with him, he'll go back to where he was, and then you got to go all the way back and launch him into the air again. So, not a big, time sink in
Yeah. No, it's fine.
retrying,
It's just
but
frustrating for
it
me as
is
somebody who
yes.
I'll start clicking and clicking and clicking, and then I don't quite know what I'm doing. And yeah,
Yeah, there are parts of it that are frustrating in that way, and again, like, having to aim constantly is yeah, it's
yeah,
frustrating because, like you're saying, not only do you sometimes not know what you're doing, because some of these puzzles are a little difficult, actually,
yeah.
um, and
Agreed.
on top of that, it also involves you having this sort of spatial awareness, this like spatial reasoning, spatial reckoning, I guess, that is a very different part of your brain in the puzzle solving part of your brain. And sometimes it's just like, yeah, the two wires can get crossed. It can get a little annoying.
Yeah. And I think you got the right word for it, the right description, that it's a little finicky.
Hmm.
There were times where I'm sure I thought I was getting the timing right, but and I just wasn't doing it like correctly. It's hard to explain. If you play it, you'll see what I mean.
Same as when I'm, like, arcing certain things. Every now and then I
Yeah.
thought I had the arc just right, and then it would just
Right.
not go where I wanted it to go, and then you have to mess with it, and especially in those, the action sequences towards the end of the game, um,
Right.
you do have to go back, a few more steps than like,
Mhm.
I was describing a situation. Most of the situations, you have to go back one step maybe, but
Mhm.
in the end part of the game, you sometimes have to go back 2, 3 steps, and it's a little frustrating.
Yeah,
Um,
it can get frustrating because of that type of puzzle design and that
yes.
type of gameplay. But I didn't give up on it.
Yeah.
And like if I needed a hint, dude, I have no shame. I think there's an in-game hint system that kind of
Oh,
helps
yeah,
you
there is,
along.
isn't
Yeah.
there? I didn't use it, but, how is it?
It's great. Yeah, you can get gentle hints or you can it's kind of like in it's incremental, so you can get like a gentle hint or you can go all the way and get like the full solution if you wanted. Um but yeah, there were multiple times in looking at that where I was like I knew how to do it. I simply wasn't doing it in the timing or
Mhm.
in the aiming that they wanted it to. So I'm glad there is a hint system to like reinforce that I am doing this right. Unlike, kind of contrasted to Letter Lost, where it's like, I don't know if I did this right or not. Like, I just don't know.
Right.
But that being said, I was delighted by this game. I loved playing it. I
Yeah,
think it's
same.
super funny.
It's
It's so clever. It's so
it's
clever.
it's clever, it's funny, it's bright.
Yeah,
It is a pick me up of a game.
it
Every
is.
moment of it is like makes you happy. If you are in a bad mood, this is a game you can pick up and just be like, all right, I feel better. All right, the world's not that bad. Everything's okay.
No, it is really great. It actually really exceeded my expectations because you have to keep in mind that this is based on just a small segment of another game. That's it.
Yes.
And so I'm actually yeah, it exceeded my expectations
It could have been
as a
so much
puzzle game.
even when you start the game. 'Cause that's such a gimmicky idea
Yeah.
from a game that in and of itself is a little gimmicky. And then when you start playing and you learn the mechanic, the stretching thing, you're like, "Well, that's gimmicky too."
Mhm.
And then you play through the game and you're like, "This game's not gimmicky at all. This game rules. This game is
Yeah,
very sincere
it is sincere.
and thoughtful and like well constructed." I loved this game. I'm
Yeah. This is a game that says to me that the developers loved making it.
yes.
I can just
100%.
tell that they loved their ideas and they committed to them, and I can just tell that they had a good time making this game.
Yes. And it really it captures that old LucasArts feeling by just being fun every moment of it, right? Every
Yes.
moment of it is fun and funny and you love the characters and you want to spend time with them and Sherlock Holmes is a real dope and he's mean to Watson the whole time
It makes
and
me laugh.
Watson is the driver of the story. Like he is
Yeah.
definitely the more heroic and the smarter of the two of them, but he's
Yeah.
also a dope. And he's totally lovesick throughout the whole thing. Um, the villain isn't really a villain. The
Right.
villain is like a really sympathetic and really sweet character,
Yeah.
who is put in a bad situation. Um, Emma Files, the love interest, is also like a really important part of the game in a way that feel like she's way more than just a love interest. This
Yeah.
game fucking rules.
Yeah. It's hard to for me it's hard to articulate exactly why it is so clever, but it felt so smart in a way that I was like jealous. I'm just like I how did they think to even make a puzzle like this? That's wild. And yeah, super creative. And I kind of hope they do, and I kind of hope it's more like Duck Detective where they maybe
We
can
get
release another mini. I mean, this was a longer game, but
another
I hope they
Sherlock
do.
and Watson mystery from
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I mean, because even in its metatextual way, it holds together as a story,
Yeah, I think so
like
too.
beginning to end. I think it really they tell us they tell a story beginning, middle, and end. And yeah. So, do we have anything else we want to say about Crushed in Time?
I don't think so, but I had a random I forgot it again. There was something I super wanted to mention about Perfect Hide Station to Station last
Oh my
week.
gosh,
And
okay.
then I didn't mention it, and then I remembered it, and then I forgot it, and now I can't remember it again. Oh, I can't believe
No.
this. But yeah, it's not like it's weird. It's not. It was. I should have wrote it down. It's not like a simple thing. It's something I really wanted to highlight. But if I remember it for next week, you guys, I'm gonna say it.
Well, make sure you guys turn in. Make sure you turn in next week.
Turn in your homework.
Make sure you turn in your homework. We will be assigning more, so you don't want to fall behind. No, make sure you tune in next week. I don't know exactly what we'll be talking about yet.
You said the exact same thing last episode.
We should just say that every episode.
Yeah.
People are like, we know you don't know what you're talking about. But last week I had some ideas of what we might be talking about. This week I don't think I know what we'll be talking about in like 2 weeks.
That's true. We
But
do know that.
I don't know what we're talking about next week. Maybe we'll just
God, it better be Jazz and Faust, or I'm gonna have a
God.
conniption.
Somebody direct me how to play fucking Jazz and Faust.
Here's the good news. I think somebody found a way to play like Dark Earth in the Discord. I'll have
Oh,
to
I already
find
had
that.
I already
Oh,
had a
okay.
way to play Dark Earth.
Oh, you're okay. Okay, maybe it was.
I
I don't remember then.
I had Dark Earth. I don't have Jazz and Faust.
Listen, in 3 days, it's Matt's birthday, and all he wants
It's Jazz and
is Jazz and Faust.
All I want is to play Jazz and Faust. Man,
Please make this the best birthday that
I
there ever
know,
was.
and I wouldn't ask this of somebody, but I know there's somebody in our audience that is like good with computers
Hell yeah.
and could spend time figuring out how to make one of these games playable. I'm not going to ask that of them.
You kind of are asking a little bit.
Well, hold on. We have to put more silence in there. I'm not going to ask that of them. Okay, so so anyway,
Yeah, anyway.
Look, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I had fun with these games. These were fun games.
I did too. I'm having a lot of fun with adventure games lately. I'm keeping all my promises. I am playing the games I said I was going to play. I can't wait to tell you more about Gilbert Goodmate once I get past this whatever bug that I'm experiencing, and Krabat, more about Krabat. And yeah, I'm glad I picked up Letter Lost too. I wasn't going to, because we were going to talk for sure about Crushed in Time, but I finished that really quickly. So
yeah,
really,
I was really surprised. I
yeah.
told you I was playing it, and you were like, maybe I'll play it too. And
Yep, and then
then
I started.
then you started, and I was like, all right. If you want to talk about it, though, you have to get through at least one loop. I was like, you don't have to, but it's going to be hard to talk about if you don't know this thing.
Yeah.
And then you got hooked.
Yeah, I did. I literally picked it up yesterday.
That's so funny.
And played right before we hopped on this recording. I played an hour extra. So
Jeez.
I could so I could get I wanted to know what I was talking about. Yeah, I'm an expert. That's where my expertise is.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, everybody, thank you for listening. The best way to support us, the best way to show your appreciation if you love us, is by sharing this. Just share it with a friend or social media followers, a foe. Share it with a foe. Kidnap a foe Time to a chair.
Whoa, wait.
Hold on. I'm going somewhere with this.
Uh-huh.
Kidnap a foe. Time to a chair.
Oh, God.
Force them to listen to about 7 to 8 hours of this podcast.
Was that supposed to get better, or?
Yeah, no, I actually didn't. It was exactly where you thought it was going to go. Is the thing? It wasn't.
How about don't do that?
Okay.
Just share our stuff if you feel so inclined. Follow us on Instagram. We're Save Your Game Podcast on Instagram. Matt works very hard at our little graphics, so if you go follow us, we'd be very appreciative.
Yeah, and you can email us mattandroses@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done an email episode in a while. I don't know when we will, but we do keep an eye on that inbox. So if you email us, just know we are looking at it, and we do appreciate it.
We do. Yes, absolutely.
What else? I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Well, guys, I guess all that's left to be said is the eternal lesson that you need to take from every episode of Save Your Game.
Matt's a kidnapper?
That lesson is Matt's a kidnapper, and kidnapping is art.
And art is kidnapping.